We are here with award-winning author, Kinyanjui Kombani, and his award-winning book is Finding Colombia, and it's published by Oxford University Press. Now, Finding Colombia won the 2018 BAT Award for African Young Adult Literature.
Police officers. One of them wore a beanie, and the other one was clean shaven. But then I didn't know what a beanie was. It's the editor who added that. So if you find very good language, it goes back to my point about editors. I had to also look at a dictionary. I had written a Mboshori.
And we're back. Okay.
Yeah. So I think also the BAT Award in terms of psychologically it's also a very big thing for me because it's the first time I've ever won an award. I've won an award for a lot of other things. I've won awards. I got the top 40 under 40. I got the KU award and several other awards. But I've never really gotten an award for writing, for something I've written.
Even for villains?
Even for villains.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so because I now got an award, I still see myself as the banker who writes. So writing has become like a side hustle. But this being nominated to the regional prize, and also number two, also being actually somebody paying. This is the first time somebody paid a ticket for me to go to a different country because I'm a writer. Because of my role, I travel a lot because of my role, but I've never traveled because I'm a writer. Yeah. So for me, psychologically, it's a very big boost.
Yeah. Like thinking back to the person you were when you were writing villains, and for a while there, you thought you were like a one-hit wonder. There was a break where you hadn't written anything else. What was going through your mind? Did you think you'd ever write something as compelling or as something that has garnered that much attention as villains? Because villains was a big old deal.
Yeah, and I think it happens to a lot of creatives. When your first hit becomes such a huge hit, it can actually be an impediment.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if you're going to write. Everything else you write is going to be judged against what you wrote. So when I wrote Den of Iniquities, it was like 8 years later. And still people still look at it as opposed to the Last Valiance of Molo. Luckily they don't hate it.
That was good.
But they don't hate it. But it could actually be one of those cases where even for me as a writer, I'm thinking, will I ever write something as impactful as the Last Valiance of Molo? I think it's a curse, and it has a lot of people who it has afflicted. There's a TED talk that I listened by Elizabeth Gilbert. She actually talks about it.
Eat, Love and Pray.
Yeah, about how that success of the first book actually was kind of problematic for her and how she made it through. So for me now, I'm easy. I know I'll write a book and the book will be successful. I'll write another book, it may not be successful. Now I don't feel like that anymore. I don't feel the pressure to produce anything. I don't feel the pressure because, first of all, maybe I'll feel the pressure in about 3 or 4 years. But now I don't feel it because I have already, publishers have a pipeline of my work. So I have I have 2 novels, one coming out next month. I have another one that is still in the works. I don't know when it's going to come out.
Which one is this?
Hocus Pocus.
Oh, that one.
I have one coming next month. I have 2 novels that have been shortlisted for this year's BAT Award.
I know. Oh my gosh, we need to talk about that.
Talk about that. So in terms of work in progress, I have an anthology that we are doing, edited by Peter Kemani, which again is a very big thing. A lot of other serious writers like Gogoyadeng are inside there.
Oh my gosh. I know. You're pretty serious.
So in terms of the work that is ahead of me, in terms of the work I've already churned out, I don't feel the pressure. So now I'm comfortable writing the novel that I feel is going to now be my Pan-African novel.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not in any kind of pressure now.
What are some of the questions that come at you, like the most common questions that come at you?
About writing, mostly about the process. A lot of people don't know about the publishing process.
Okay.
So they'll ask you, how can I get published? They ask you, should I self-publish or should I get published by a writer, by a publisher, traditional publisher? Those are some of the questions that I get. Is there money in writing?
Is there? Well, there is.
There is if you win a big award. There is if you win a big award. But But I think one of the things that I've learned in my active 16 years of writing is that if you go out there, I'm going to make money, you'll get frustrated.
Okay.
Because it's taken 16 years for me to win this award.
Yeah.
It's taken Tony Mochama. Tony Mochama was on a ton of awards,
Yeah.
but they didn't just start winning, winning the awards.
Yeah.
Getting that formula of a winning book doesn't come easily.
Yeah.
And I've written many books that have not been winning awards.
Yeah.
That didn't go past, So
Okay.
so it takes a bit of time. About whether to publish by a publisher or traditional, it depends on you because it's an investment. If you go to a publisher, the publisher takes care of all the risks. They take care of the process itself all the way up to distribution. If you self-publish, you're just basically taking the role of the publisher and doing it yourself. The result is you can become a multimillionaire like some people that I know who will not name. I don't know, in your vlog, do you allow name dropping?
Yeah, drop.
No, there are some people who have become millionaires just because they're self-published.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, okay,
if for instance, if your book becomes a school set book, you're assured of 400,000 copies.
But those are self-published.
There's one who was a self-publisher.
Okay.
Yeah. So when
Which one?
Kidako Amberi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when that book became a set book, he's assured of at least 400,000 copies a year. 400,000 copies a year are enough to make you a millionaire many times over.
Oh, yeah.
But that investment requires a lot of money. If you don't have the resources, if you're depending on the book sales, because the problem with self-publishing is a lot of people, and you've written, and maybe I don't know, maybe you have a different kind of family, but my family, nobody has ever bought a copy of my book. I think only I've sold like 10 copies to my entire extended family, not nuclear family, extended family.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will tell you, no, we love you. Like when this Finding Colombia one, guys were like, where can I get a copy of the book? Now I'm telling guys I have copies of the book. I have sold 200.
Yeah.
But
and
the
at
thing
a
is,
discount, by the way.
at a discount.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the first time when it won the award, I got more than 1,000 comments saying, where can I get the book? Where can I get? So that can make you think that you have a lot of sales just because the book won an award. It may not be the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you do, now we are detouring a bit, but you do make a lot of sales, like from your Facebook campaigns.
Yeah, I do sell, but I also invest. Because
Okay.
that's another thing, as a writer, you have to think, what is the trade-off? That you also invest a bit of time. And you also take time to build not just fans, but followers.
Okay.
Because fans you can even buy fans. You can buy.
Yeah.
But you need followers, people who are going to buy your book in advance.
Yeah.
How many people can actually, like for instance, out of the Finding Colombia, there's no single person I have sent a book without them paying first. So it means they have to have earned your trust.
Yeah.
So people earn your trust before they actually start buying from me. Yeah. All that takes time. Second, more than 5 years to build that kind of following that can actually buy books.
Yeah. And they feel a connection with you, I imagine. Like, I don't know, like from your tweets, the way you talk about your journey and everything, I personally feel like, we are connected. I am... we are on this journey together, even though I'm just watching from the sidelines. Is that part of maybe how to build?
I think it's part of building a tribe. It's a tribe because people have to identify with you. There are a lot of things that you don't know about people, but when you can feel that I have followed this guy over the last, you're being genuine. I'm talking about. First of all, I'm agreeing that I have faults. Because people think that when somebody is rich and famous, that they have no faults, they have no fears, they have no worries. But when every day you're talking about your fears, your worries, your challenges, then people start to feel, this person is human. And they relate with you. When like I talk about my journey, there's so many people who inbox me after I tweet something and say, my friend, there's a tweet, like today I just shared something that I do shared with me about you write. For people will like it, people will hate it, but you write. You will have just done your work. And my inbox is full of people saying, my friend, you've just made me pick a pen and paper and write. Now, why will that person not buy your book?
You see?
Yeah. Because you get somebody saying, I want to buy books from my former school. Can I get 100 copies?
Yeah. And it's a sincere connection. It's not manipulative.
It's not manipulative.
You're sharing your true
Yeah,
struggles.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Plus also, maybe not a lot of people have the kind of journey that I have.
Yeah.
So again, sharing the journey also helps to get people. Like when I shared about the making of the last villains of Molo, I got guys actually really empathizing.
That was quite a story. What has been your lowest moment in these 16 years of writing?
There've been a lot of low moments.
Okay.
I think my lowest moment was 2016 when I went to a university and I found that they were using, out of the whole class of maybe 200, they were using, none of them had seen the original copy of the book. So while they had really loved the book, they appreciated the book, I had not made a single shilling from them. And yet I had taken my time and my resources to go to the university at no cost.
Yeah, and it was in Mombasa.
It was in Mombasa. So although I was in Mombasa for business, so I just took a detour one evening and went there. But still, time which you can't recover. And they didn't do it because they knew. It was just they didn't know about it.
They didn't know it was wrong to photocopy a book. And that's something you, like, that's a challenge.
That's a challenge, So I think that was a bad time for me.
There's a time you were on the rampage, sorry for my choice of words, but like you were all over Facebook telling people, calling people out when they are sharing books. And like you made a couple of enemies. How was that?
Yeah, I made a lot of enemies, and I was knocked out of very many groups. There are so many WhatsApp groups for writers and readers, and they just kicked me out because they're saying that because I'm calling them out if as this writer received money from.
And for you were not like hearing at people saying this is an international writer, we are not sharing. You were like, it doesn't matter.
The same thing, and the reason I stopped maybe is because I realized it's actually not a problem with it's not a Kenya problem.
Okay.
It's a global problem. That's number one. Number two, it's a society problem. I mean, all of us. I know you have a movie guy who you go to. How much do you pay that movie guy?
I do not anymore.
Because how much do you pay for an entire series? If you go with your hard disk, it's actually cheaper.
Team Netflix.
Right now you can say that on tape. But the real thing is that if somebody has no problem going to a movie guy and downloading all the series and watching them, but he also has no problem photocopying a book. That's why for me I do a lot of children's books nowadays, because I've gone around the country. I've never seen a photocopied children's book, but I've seen a photocopied novel.
So do or do, what was up with that?
So do or do is actually a byproduct. It's not the story that I set out to write. So in 2017, I was challenged by the publisher to write a book. For the BAT Award. And I told them I have a book about a young person, a young boy, who discovers a machine, and now some corporate buys the machine, and then they want to use it for their own other means. So that was my idea. And I said, okay, that's a nice idea. And I called it Evan's Invention. Because that's what I wanted to call it. And then towards December, Peter Kombani called me. Peter Kombani is the writer of Dance of the Jacaranda. He said he wanted us to do an anthology of books, of stories about Nairobi, and he picked me as one of the writers. And because of, I think I've earned a reputation as a ghetto gangster kind of thing, he told me that I'm going to write a story based in Dandora. So I called my friends from Mukoflani. He's called Jirongi. I told him I'd like us to go to Dandora one of these days, so that I can get a feel. I'm writing a story and I want to get a feel of the story. I want to just get a feel of the people and everything there. And he said, as a matter of fact, I'm going there this afternoon because there's a football tournament that I'm sponsoring, and it's happening today. The guys are waiting for me. So we went to Dandora. I actually started my journey, went to Dandora, and we found the football was happening, and the guy who was there was a coach who really inspired me, because he was trying to build a team. He could only make 6 people, and he did a team of 11 people. Because if they don't play, the other team wins, and then they can't proceed anymore. So he did a team of 6, and then I think there were 7, and then one of them was red carded, so now there were 6 against a team of 11, and they drew. the first match. Then they proceeded. So for them, every game they were winning. It was a do or do game. You either do or you wait until next year.
Yeah.
So they have no option but to do or do. So when I came out of Dandora, I had my story which I had already written in my mind. Then I had this other story that was brewing about do or do. So those are the two stories that now I still had to write my Evan's invention. By now it had been turned into Eve's invention. It was now a young girl, and I had now the do or do. Yeah. So both have been shortlisted. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
but do or do is
congratulations.
a story that I would really like to see published.
And do you ever feel pressure to write a certain type of story? Like maybe there's what is trending right now. Do you ever feel pressure to write that story, or do you just stay true to your whatever spirit and write that
It
which
depends.
comes from you?
It depends. You see, like the book I'm going to write from next month is a serious book.
Serious. What do you mean by serious?
Serious. I'll try to stay away from humor,
Oh.
slapstick humor.
Okay.
But the story I wrote in 2016 towards the end of the month, Awful Man,
Which
became Players and Pawns. It's actually meant to be a humorous book.
Okay.
So there are things like Utajua Ujui.
Okay.
There are things like these things that you can hear right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things like Utajua Ujui,
Yeah.
things like what else? Ng'ang'ana na hali yako, bora uhai. Those are things that you hear, which you hear in society. There are things that are trending and all those things. There are some characters you recognize from because they are right now. They are right now. Let's say on Twitter, they are the characters you're going to meet on Twitter.
Are you not afraid that might date your work?
I don't think so because it's not at a particular moment. I'm not afraid about that.
And anyway, the intention was to be humorous, so it is staying true to the.
So the story will make sense for people over the next 5 years.
Okay.
But again, also, I am not really worried about dating because, like the last Villains of Molo, there was a particular set. It was set at a particular time in 1992 in Molo, and there's 2002 in Nairobi. So if you're reading the story, you're already knowing that this book was set in 2002.
Okay, makes sense. Let me ask you, what, if any, role has training taken? Like, do you go for workshops, writing workshops? Do you refresh? What do you do to keep yourself, to rejuvenate yourself in the writing space?
Okay, one of them is that I have a lot of writer friends.
Okay.
So the people who are my accountability partners, like you, who keep me grounded. I never have to think that I'm this award-winning multi-skill when I'm around people, and I think that's what writers should do. I also really recognize the role of mentors because every time I sit with David Mulwa, he asks me, "What are you writing?" Can I see it? I can't even lie to him because he's a mentor who has mentored me over the years. John Sibiokumu, I have to have a sitting with him every week, and he'll challenge me to be better than I am. He's not challenging me to go beyond Kenya. I should stop talking about Dandora all the time. Even if I'm talking about Dandora, how can I make Dandora as international so that somebody reading from Malaysia will feel the same way people feel when they read things fall apart, which is just a Nigerian story, but it's universal.
I think where I was getting at with this question is, on your Twitter, you're always talking about a certain podcaster, and I think you learn a lot from that person. I wanted you to talk about him.
I learned a lot from Michael Hyatt. Michael Hyatt is a leadership expert, but he also is a publisher, and I have learned a lot about how to build a platform. Learned a lot about writing, about tools like the tools that I use, like Scrivener. Actually, both because he recommended Scrivener, Evernote. Those are things that he talks about, tools that you need as a writer.
Who do you admire the most in Kenya in the writing space?
Of course, Major Mwangi.
Okay.
So Major Mwangi has had a lot of influence in my writing.
Okay.